Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to see about a small brief introduction about Salesforce. So, what is a Salesforce? Salesforce is nothing but a company. It is a website who is providing a cloud-based IT solutions. And Salesforce founded at 1999, and the CEO of Salesforce is Mark Benioff. So Salesforce, they are providing a pure on-demand services. So these are the basic some terms and terminologies on Salesforce. So there are two types of services available in market. That is, one is on-premise and one more is on-demand services. Salesforce is actually providing only on-demand services. There are on-premise services which actually requires pre-installation. For example, if you wanted to use MS Office or if you wanted to use .NET or Java, it requires pre-installation and it requires software update. So that we are calling it as on-premise services. Whereas on-demand services is actually a cloud-based services. It requires only web browser. So that is, for example, if you take a Gmail or if you take a Facebook, so it don't need any software installations. So only if you just go ahead and log in and if you can explore the Facebook features as well as you can explore the Gmail features. So that is we can call it as on-demand services, which actually Salesforce providing on-demand services. By using that, you can develop the tool and you can configure the components. You can do lot many things. So in upcoming sessions, we can see about lot more about Salesforce configuration and customization services. So thanks for watching. Hello. In this session, we are going to see about cloud services, which is nothing but a on-demand services. So we are going to talk about more on on-demand services. So on-demand services can be classified into three types of services. One is SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. That is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So when you're talking about software as a service, is nothing but a software which is predefinedly given by a company. That is, you can take a Gmail or Facebook, they already developed the software and they are just given it to you and you're just utilizing it. Second one is platform as a service is nothing but providing a developer platform or providing a place where you can customize the existing applications is nothing but platform as a service. And third one is infrastructure as a service, which is nothing but network storage and storage spaces for files and storage spaces for datas, which is providing by the servers is nothing but infrastructure as a service. So when we are working on software as a service or platform as a service or infrastructure as a service, we should be aware of governor limits. So governor limits is nothing but a limitation on all the developments or all the configuration items or all the storage items, whichever you can take, there would be a limitation. Since we are working in a multi-tenancy environment, if you take a Gmail, maximum of 500 emails you can send up in per day, you can send maximum of 500 emails. So that kind of limitations we are calling it as multi-tenancy environment. So the same, like whatever we have seen right now, let's see more in practical by using Salesforce CRM. Okay. So first, let's talk about software as a service. So whatever you're seeing right now, so this is called a Salesforce tool. I mean the tool which is provided by Salesforce, where if you click this app launcher and if you click view all, you can see the list of applications which is already provided by Salesforce. There is a sales app and there is a service app and marketing app. There are lots of apps which is already given by Salesforce. So this we are calling it as software as a service. And second one, there is something called developer console. By using the developer console, you can write your own code and you can write your own customization by using the Apex class triggers or Visual Force like that. So they are providing the platform where you can develop your own customization, where you can do your own coding. So this is nothing but platform as a service. And third one, if you check the storage usage of Salesforce tool, which is provided for practicing purpose, by in this storage usage, you can check the limitations where data storage is given as limit 5 MB and file storage limit is given as 20 MB. So like that, they will be taking care of the all infrastructure. This is nothing but infrastructure as a service. Thanks for watching. Hello. In this session, we are going to see about Salesforce editions and pricings. So in totally Salesforce, they are providing four types of licenses. One is um, essential, second one is professional, third one is enterprise, and fourth one is unlimited. So there are main difference between all these four is on first one is based on pricing, second one is limitations. The more you pay, the more you get the futures. And the third one is if you take essentials and professionals, there you cannot do any coding. By using the standard applications like and standard customization features which is provided by Salesforce, that one you can utilize it. And in enterprise and unlimited, you can do lot many codings and there would be more storage spaces when compared with professional and editions. And the final one is developer edition, which is nothing but practicing org. You can call it as practicing org, where you will get limited storage spaces, and that would be used only for your practice purpose. And if you are not using the developer edition for around 6 months, it will get auto expired. So thanks for watching. Hello. In this session, we are going to see about how to create a Salesforce developer account. Salesforce developer account is actually a free of cost account. You don't need to pay anything for this license, but it is only for a limited features where you can use it. As well as there will be a limited storage spaces as well as there will be limited file storage spaces. So by using the developer account, it can be used only for your practical purpose. So if you wanted to explore and if you wanted to do the configuration practices and if you wanted to do the customization practices, you can sign up with the developer account and you can explore your knowledge. So let's see practically how we can sign up with the developer account. So first go to the site called developer developer.salesforce.com. So there you need to select sign up. So here you can give your details. For example, I'm filling CRS Info Solutions and you need to fill the email ID. After that, you can select any role in that. So at present, I'm just selecting a developer role and you can give your company name or any test company names and you can select the name of the country and you can give any postal code. And while you're giving the username, it should be in the email format, like there should be any name at any domain name. So for example, I'm just giving this name dot developer account. So you can give any name in the format of email. So after that, you can select sign me up. So the moment you select the sign me up button, there would be a mail triggered to you. Sometimes it may take a few minutes. You can just wait for some time and later you can get the email. So after signing up with developer.salesforce.com, you need to log in with the credentials by using login.salesforce.com. So this is the place where you can log in with your developer credentials. So still I'm waiting for the email from Salesforce support. So once we received, we are good to start. Okay, so now it's ready that we have received the email from Salesforce. So before logging into your developer account, the first time, this would be the only one time that you need to select verify account. It is like a verification account wherever you're signing up. So, and you need to create a new password. So you can give any place. And after that, you need to select change password. Okay. So every time whenever you're logging into Salesforce, instead of using this URL, whichever given by Salesforce, you can directly use login.salesforce.com, which would be good one. So I am just using the login.salesforce.com. So once you are given the URL, enter the user ID and password and select login. Just a moment. We'll just sign out here and we'll go to login.salesforce.com and I'll just give the user ID and later I'll just give the password. Yes, now it's successfully logged in. So here it's your own choice. If you wanted to fill your phone, if you wanted to register your phone number, you can go ahead and fill your phone number. In case if you don't want to select your phone number, just give I don't want to register my phone. Yeah. So now we have successfully logged in into Salesforce account. So this is the developer account, how you looks like, and this is the way how you need to log in into a developer account. Thank you. Thanks for the time and support. Thanks for watching. So let's start creating the applications in Salesforce. Before that, we should know what is a Salesforce applications. Salesforce applications is kind of collection of objects or collection of tabs. Here, collection of objects is nothing but database tables, and collection of tabs is nothing but there is a link for the database tables, which is nothing but tabs. And we'll see more on objects and tabs in upcoming sessions. So applications where you can use it to manage the records which is related to the specific applications. And there are two types of applications available in Salesforce. One is standard and one is custom. The standard applications which is already given by Salesforce, and the custom applications, if you wanted to use your own application, you can go ahead and create it. So let's see some practical use cases on how to create applications in Salesforce. And so this is the home page of Salesforce. If you wanted to see the existing applications, you need to click this app launcher. And if you select view all, where you can see the standard applications given by Salesforce service, sales, and those are the standard applications given by Salesforce. Here you can notice there is a test which is created by me, and this is called as a custom application. So we'll just see the practical demo how to create a custom application. So for that, you need to search for applications. So where you can find a app manager. So the moment you select the app manager, you will get a UI over here where you can create a new Lightning app or new connected app. So here we are going to create a new Lightning app. So we'll see later on what is a new connected app. So if you wanted to create a custom application, you just need to select the new Lightning app, and there you need to provide the application name. So application name, I'm just giving something called University Management, or you can give any name whatever you want. So once you just fill this name, this developer name will be auto-populated by the system. If you wanted to give more description about the application, you can enter and fill it here. And this is the place where you can select your logo, or if you wanted to do any branding of a particular application, you can go ahead and upload in this page. By selecting this, you can upload the images. So once you do that, you need to go ahead and select the next button. So here there are two types of things. One is standard navigation and one is custom navigation. And here you can see setup and service setup. So service setup, which is something different on console applications. We can talk about service setup and navigation later. So right now we are going to select the standard navigation, and this is just a setup. And here the form factors, you can select both desktop and phone, which can be support in both desktops or tabs or phones everywhere. After that, you need to select next. So make this one as a default and select next. So these are the standard objects which is provided by Salesforce. So we can talk more about objects in the upcoming sessions. For time being, I'm just going to add this account object. So this account object, I told you that account object is nothing but a standard object. It's kind of data table which is standard data table provided by Salesforce. So after selecting the accounts, you can select next, and there is a profile selection when you're creating the application. By default, Salesforce is assigned as a system admin profile. So we can talk about the profiles also later in sessions. For time being, you can select a system administrator. After that, you need to select save and finish. So now I'm again selecting the app launcher and I'm selecting view all. So here you can see the university management. I'm opening the application which is created by me, and here you can see the accounts table which I have created is actually added in the tab place. So this is how you need to select the account object. And if you select new account where you can create new records, so this creation of records objects tabs we can see in the upcoming session. So this is the session how we need to create an application in Salesforce. Thanks for watching. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about objects and tabs in Salesforce. Objects are related to database tables, which is there in the Salesforce. So object is having a collection of fields and records. So here records are related to rows and fields are related to columns. So there are two types of objects. One is standard objects and one more is custom objects. So both standard and custom objects we are calling it as S objects is nothing but Salesforce objects. So in developer edition what we are going to use, there is a limit for objects. Maximum you can create 400 objects per org. And next one is tabs. So tabs is a kind of link to the particular object. So whenever you create an object, if you wanted to open a particular object, you need to create a link for that particular object that is called as tabs. So it is a kind of UI path to access the object. And there are four types of tabs available in Salesforce. One is custom tabs, second one is web tabs, third one is Visualforce tabs, and fourth one is LC and LP tabs. So we'll see more in detail about LC and LP tabs later. So right now we will focus on custom tabs. So let's see how to create a objects and how to include a tab for a particular object. So to create a object, first you need to go to setup, and there you can find a object manager. So here you can see these are the standard objects which is provided by Salesforce. So we'll create a custom object. For that, you need to select this create button and you need to select the custom object. So here you can name the o- object name like employee. I'm just making this object name as employee and employees. So there are so many options available. So this option will make you to allow this object for reports, and this will allow you for activities, and this will allow you for track field history, and this option will allow you for chatter groups. So other options can you can make it on a default, and while creating an object that should be in deployed status, then only it will get created. So if you enable this allow search, so this object can be allowed during the overall search. So if you are searching by using a search setup, or if you are using global search setup, then this object will be visible. So that is the permission you are giving to search this object. So here you can see there is a button which will be helpful to create a new custom tab. So there are two types of tabs we can create. One, you can go to setup and create a tabs, or if you wanted to skip that step creating a tabs, you can just select this button, so it will help you to create a tab. So right now I'm just saving it, and it's asking for tab style. You can select any type of tab style and then select next. You can select next. Make this tab should be included in all apps if you want. So this is the University Management app. If you wanted to make it visible only to University Management app, just make only visible for the University Management app and save it. So now this tab is successfully created. So you can notice the API name which ends with underscore underscore C, which represents it is a custom object. So if you check the API name for account, it's like just a account. There is no underscore underscore C or something like that. If you check contact, there is no underscore underscore C. So without this mentioning the C, that means it is a standard object. So if I'm searching for employee, so here you can find underscore underscore C, which represents the custom object. So now we'll just check it out whether this tab is successfully created or not. So we'll just go to University Management application, and here you can find the employee tab. So this is the object. So right now we don't have any fields in this object. Even if we don't create any fields, by default, Salesforce will create some standard fields. So first one is name. So I'm just giving it as temporary name for the employee, and I'm saving it. So here you can find this employee name, owner, and then created by, last modified by. So these four fields will be automatically created by Salesforce. So let's see more in detail about in next session. Thank you. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about fields. So fields is actually representing the details inside the table. So for example, if I wanted to fill the details for employee, I'm taking the example schema as employee ID, name, and date of birth. So in order to create the three types of fields, for employee ID, it should be a auto-generated number, and for name, which is already there in the Salesforce, which is created by default in Salesforce. Date of birth is a kind of date field. It's a kind of date field which we need to create it. So there are two types of fields available in Salesforce, that is standard fields and custom fields. So standard fields, which is inbuilt fields provided by Salesforce, and the custom fields which is going to create by us. So in developer edition, maximum you can create 500 fields in org. So let's see a practical demo how to create a fields. So to create a fields, you need to navigate to setup. In setup, go to object manager. So under employee, you wanted to create fields means search for employees. I'm opening the employee field. Here you can find a option called fields and relationships. So I'm just selecting this fields and relationships option. So here you can find by default Salesforce is created an employee name. So we can ignore that one. Right now we are going to create a employee ID and employee date of birth. So in order to create that, I need to select new. So here you can find the auto number which we are going to create it right now. And apart from this, you can see there are so many fields available. Based on the requirements, we need to choose the data type. So right now I am choosing auto number data type and I'm selecting next. Here I am giving it as EMP ID and I want this format like this. So you can choose your own format however you want. So I'm choosing it as E or EMP or anything you want. So this should be the format, and if you want to add additional numbers you can include another zero, so which represents the 5-digit numbers, and the starting number you can mention it over here. So here for example I'm mentioning this as 1, so the employee IDs will be auto generated from number 1. So that is the set of four zeros along with 1. So this is how it will get created, and I'm selecting next, and I'm making it visible to all other profiles, and I'm selecting next, and I'm selecting save. So here you can find this employee ID got created. So in the same way how you're finding in a custom objects, in the same way you can find the custom fields which is appended with underscore underscore C, which represents the custom object, I mean custom fields. And if you want to check about the standard fields, you can find there would not be any underscore underscore C in other fields. So now again I wanted to create one more field which is a date of birth, and I'm selecting it. So here if you want it specific only with the date you can go by date, and if you wanted specific along with the time you can select date and time. So right now I don't need date and time, so I'm just going and selecting the date field. So I selected date of birth, I mean I fill the date of birth, and if you want to make this field as a mandatory field you can highlight this option which will make it as mandatory. If you're not selecting it, it will not make it as mandatory. So when I'm creating employee ID, that is not needed of this because that's an auto generated number. And this is an optional one which should be filled by the end user. So end user wants to fill this field, make it required. So I'm just enabling it right now, and I'm choosing next, next, and save. So right now we have two custom fields and four standard fields. So we'll go ahead and check it in the end user side. I'm searching for university management, and here you can find employees, and you can try to create a new record. So there you can find the employee name. So I'm filling it as one EMP02, and here you can see there is a star symbol which is representing the field is mandatory one, since because we have enabled the option the required field. So I'm choosing it. In case if you are not choosing this, it will throw an error like complete this field. This is called system validation By default, it will throw if you're selecting it as this one as a mandatory field. So I'm just giving some date of birth as 2020 October 1st and save it. So there you can find this employee ID is a auto-generated one and this is filled by us. So let's go and create one more employee, EMP03, and I'm filling a date of birth. So here you can find the auto number is generating automatically as 2. So this is how the auto number will work. So like this, we will be having so many fields and data types. So let's see in detail in upcoming sessions. Thank you. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. So in this session, we are going to see about a formula fields in Salesforce. So in last session, we have seen about fields in Salesforce. We have seen about auto-generated number as well as we have seen about date of birth. So in this session, as a continuity, we are going to see about formula fields. So formula fields are the read-only fields which is generated by the system. Suppose if you wanted to calculate a plus b and if you wanted to give the answer in C, that can be done by using formula fields. So formula fields can be recalculated based on the dependency fields. If you are changing A value or B value, automatically it will be changing in the C value. So by using formula fields, you will be having so many inbuilt functions like today or system date, or it will having a so many functions where you can use this flexibility and it will be more helpful while doing the calculations. So for example, we are taking a age calculation here and we can see how we can calculate the age by using the formula fields. So here you can see in last session we have created date of birth and right now under date of birth I wanted to populate the age field. So let's go and see how to create a age field. So here you have a list of fields and I'm going to select new field, select the formula field and select next. So here I'm giving it as age. So definitely the age value return type will be in the number. Either it may be 10, either it may be 20, and it won't be there in a time or text or it won't be there in the decimal. So definitely I will be choosing 0 and choose next. So here you can see there's a simple formula and there is an advanced formula. So in simple formula, you won't be having this functionality available. So if you choose advanced formula, you can make use of these functions. So if I want to calculate the date of birth, first I will take a function called today and I'm taking the difference from today to date of birth. So this can be giving you the number of days from today and along with the existing date of birth which you have filled while filling the employee record. So what I'm doing is I'm just going and dividing this value into 365.25. So I'm dividing this value by year. So you will get a year age like 26 or 25 like that you will get. So once you have populated the formula and here you have a button to check the syntax whether it is right or not. So here you can see there is no syntax errors and you can select next and again this is a visibility concept and right now make it default visibility to all profiles. Select next and then select save. So here age is created, and we'll go and we'll just create one new employee record, EMP04, and I'm choosing the date of birth as 2002, 1st of October. Save it. Again, we can check one more time. Going with a new record. I'm choosing the date. Save it. Here you can see all are correct and there is no mistake in this. We'll just go ahead and just do one refresh. Okay, it's came right now. So it has taken little time to create a formula field. So again, you can go back and select a new record, and this time I'm just going and choosing this one, and I'll select 1988 and select. Here you can see the date is automatically calculated since it has taken little time because there are so many employee records available right now. It has to populate to all the records based on this age. See, even in the previous records also, wherever you have created date of birth, for that records also it get populated. So that is, it has taken little more time. So like this, by using the formula field, you will be having so many flexibility options, and this is how you need to work with the formula fields. So let's see in another session. Thank you. Have a great day. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this video, we are going to talk about page layouts. Page layout is specific to layout customization. So where you want to drag and drop the fields based on your requirements. And there would be some more flexibilities are there, like you can make a fields are mandatory and you can make the fields are read only. So like that you have so many flexibilities to arrange the page layouts. And there are two types of pages are there. One is edit page and one is detail page. So the top you're seeing which is a edit page where you're going to create new record where you're modifying the existing record. You can see the edit page. At the bottom you can see the detail page. After saving the record, whatever the UI it is there, that is called a detail page. So let's see a small demo on that. So here we go. So now to modify the page layouts, you need to go to the object manager and you need to search for the specific object, and you need to search for page layouts. So inside the page layouts, you can see a employee layout. So here you can find the section, information section, where you want to place the particular fields based on your requirement. See here, if you feel the date of birth and age wants to become on the other side, you can just drag and drop over here. And in case if you wanted to add any additional sections, you can just drag and drop the addition section here. So that section layout, it's actually we need to fill up. So either it may be a one column or it may be a two column. So the tab key order, so this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 in a sequential order. This is like a parallel order, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So by default, I'm selecting two columns and I'm selecting this left to right tab key order, and I'm just giving it as age section, and I have included the section. So I'm just including the section over here. So what you're seeing here, it is a two column size, I mean two column position. And suppose right now the specialization field, there is a specialization field in a employee table, which is not a mandatory field. But now if you click this button, the wrench icon, you can say it's a property button. So here you can see you can make this field as read only, or you can make this field as required. So at present I'm making this field I'm making this field as a required field, and I'm just selecting save. And you can save the layout to see the changes whatever you have done so far. So I'm just refreshing this page, and I'm selecting the employee object, and I'm selecting new employees. So here you can see the section whichever you have split it up, it is reflecting in the edit page. And here you can fill the employee record name. At present I'm giving as 06, and you can select the specialization. Previously you can see it, there would not be any asterisk symbol over here because that field is not mandatory. Now it is mandatory field. And select the date of birth and save the record. So here you can see it is saved in the same way as we mentioned in the page layout. So this is how you need to work with the page layouts. So let's see on another session. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about custom page layouts. So in last session, whatever we have seen, it is related to the standard layout, which is given by Salesforce. Now we are going to deal about custom page layouts, that is creating our own layout and modifying our same layout which we have created. And in previous session, whatever you have modified, that is a standard layout provided by Salesforce, which we have modified in the last session. So let's see a small demo on custom page layouts. Here we go. So now this is a standard layout given by Salesforce. If you wanted to create custom layout, you need to go to navigate to page layouts, and you need to select new layout. So here, which layout you wanted to copy, from that existing layout you can copy the new layout. So here I am giving it as teaching employee, and I'm saving it. So if you wanted to modify anything for teaching employees, you can modify it. So for teaching employees, I'm just changing the joining date, email ID, and mobile on the right hand side. I'm just saving it. and I'm creating one more page layout. I'm taking the reference from the teaching employee and I'm creating one more page layout as non-teaching employee. Save it. Now, so here you can see a specialization field which is mandatory for teaching employees. So now I'm removing this as a mandatory and I'm removing this section. So here it went. So if you wanted to keep again, you can drag and keep it. So if you don't want to keep it, you can just drag and keep it over there in the fields. So I'm just removing the specialization field on the custom page layouts. Okay, so this is how you can create a custom page layouts. Like here I have created non-teaching employee and I have created a teaching employee. So if you wanted to check, here you can select page layout assignment and you can click edit assignment. So here there is a place to change the layout. So select the system admin as you are a system administrator, assign a non-teaching or teaching, whichever the changes you wanted to see. Save it. So it got saved. So now let's create a new record. So here you can find you don't have the specialization field right now. Again, I'll just edit it and I'm changing this layout to teaching employee and save it. It got saved. Again, I'll just select new record. Not get reflected. So again, let me create a new record. Teaching employee, select layout, select teaching employee layout and save it. Let's go back to the records. Select new record, test, select a date of birth. Now, in all the layouts, I'm making this specialization field as not mandatory. So here you can check this is a employee layout and this is non-teaching employee layout and this is teaching employee layout. So all the places I just removed the mandatory one. What I'm doing is in non-teaching I just remove the specialization field and here you can check I have assigned the non-teaching layout to system admin. So now when I try to create a new record, the specialization field won't be there. So this is how you need to assign the custom page layouts to a particular profile. So let's see you on the another session. Thank you. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about record types. So record types, it is benefit where you can have multiple page layouts to a specific profile, and each record type is associated with a page layout. So let's see a small demo on record types, how it would be helpful for us. So in previous session, when we talk about page layouts, when we are assigning a page layout, so you will be using this page layout assignment option, and you will be assigning the page layout to a specific profile, right? So right now I reverted back the employee page layout from non-employees, or from teaching employees, from non-teaching employees. So instead of assigning page layout assignment, we can create a record type. So from the record type, we can assign a multiple page layouts. So for that, you need to navigate to record types, and you need to create a new record type. So here you can take the master. So first, um, employee layout or employee record type, and it's your option. You can make visible to all profiles, or you can make visible only to system admin. And then change it to teaching, save it. Instead of employee record type, I'll just make it as teaching employee record type. Okay, so now one record type is ready, and I'll create one more record type. So I'll make this as non-teaching employee record type, make it active, and I'm making visible to default, and assign to a specific profile, and save it. Now you can see there are two record types are created, and which is active right now. So in order to make a page layout assignment, you need to select this page layout assignment option, and you need to select edit assignment as you are selecting in the page layout assignment. So here you can see for teaching employee, for teaching employee record type, we have assigned teaching employee page layout. For non-teaching employee record type, we have assigned non-teaching employee layout. In case if you wanted to change it, you can select, and you can select the layout here. You can change the layout by selecting this option. So, so this is what exactly I need. So I have used this option, and I saved it. So here you can find for system admin, for non-teaching record type, non-teaching employee layout, for teaching record type, teaching employee layout. So let's test it out. I'll open a new employees. So select new record. So here you can find teaching and non-teaching record type. So once you select teaching employee record type, so the layout which you have, which it is there for teaching, that will actually will reflect here, and for non-teaching it will reflect here. So here you can see there is no specialization field. So instead of assigning the page layout each and every time, by using the record type, You can make the layout as a dynamic and you can use it over here. So this is how you can utilize the record types. So thanks for watching. Let's see on another video session. Thank you. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about validation rules. So validation rules which help us to maintain the good data in the database. So it enforces the users to enter the correct information and it can help us to maintain the accuracy and quality of the data. Always validation rules will work in before mode. That is, whenever the record is saving into the database, it will just fire the rule before saving into the database. And there is a limitations over there. In free edition, you can use actively 100 validation rules per object. In unlimited edition, you can use up to 500 active validation rules per object. Okay, so let's see a small demo how to work with the validation rules along with the use case. So now, f- for example, use case, I'm taking a standard object account. So when I'm creating a new account, so if I'm entering a account, so as a test account, so if I save it, it will save, but only the account number or account name by keeping it, which will not be helpful. So we need other fields to make them populated. So for that, as a use case, I'm taking it as whenever you save the account record, already the account name would be the mandatory field which the end user needs to be filled. Along with that, there is a rating field. So I'm just making this field as mandatory. I want this field to make this without fail. They have to fill the field. They have to select this value. So I'm making this field as mandatory. Along with, I need a phone number. So phone number has to be mandatory. Along with, there is annual revenue. So I need to make sure that customer has to fill the annual revenue. Along with that, there is a PAN number field, which is a text field, which is custom text field. So right now, whatever the values would be entered, it will allow us to save. So PAN number would not be in this format. So make sure that this data should not be entered. It has to be a valid PAN number. So let's see how to create a validation rule for all those use cases. So to create validation rule, you can select this wrench icon or settings icon and you can select this edit object. So there you find an option called validation rule. So as of now, we don't have any validation over here. Let's create a new validation rule. So here you can fill as account validation. You can give specific to the requirement. So now, so first what I need to check is I'll just create a new account so that I can make sure edit. So I want to make this rating field, phone field, and annual revenue field. I want to make those fields are mandatory. Those fields should never be a blank. Okay. So whenever I work with phone field, it is a combination of text, right? Because phone number is carrying um, special symbols and uh, like numbers and special symbols. So for that I can use is blank. So is blank of phone field. So phone cannot be blank. So that is the meaning for this. And my second condition is annual revenue. So whenever you choose any number field like currency field or any specific to numbers alone, on that time you need to choose the functionality called is null. So is null is blank will work for both numbers and special characters. Is null will work only for numbers. So annual revenue is a currency field, so I'm choosing as is null. Annual revenue. Yes, annual revenue is selected. So next, make sure that in rating field should not be blank. So again, I'll choose is blank. Insert that function. So rating field here you can see it is not a blank one, it is a pick list value. So whenever you are working with pick list value, you just need to use the text field. So inside the text, you need to supply the rating field. Now, next one. This next one is PAN number correction. So for PAN number correction, we have a field called regex. So regex. So inside the regex, you need to supply the um, field name. Along with that, you need to supply the regex format. For example, I have a PAN number regex format. So this is how you need to give the PAN number regex format. This is the name of the field. This is the API name of the PAN number. And after that, A to Z. So the first character of a PAN number would be there in the capital format of in between A to Z. So next one is also the same. Till 5 characters is also same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 characters should be a number from 0 to 5, or you can make it as 5. So if you want to make it as 0 to 5, you need to enter 0 to 5, or if you wanted to give it as 0 to 9, you can make it as 0 to 9. So like this. So 0 to 9, any number would be there. Here also 0 to 9, any number would be there. So I'm changing it like this because this is the correct format. And the last character again, it would be in A to Z, like anything. So in case if you're making this brackets, that means here there should be only one is allowed. So that is the meaning for this. I'm just reverting it back. Okay. So here, what I'm doing is I'll just try to add a function called not. So what it will do is it is a logical operator which will checks whether it is not in PAN number format. So I'll need to supply like this. Now all the values, all the conditions, I made it ready. Since all the conditions are ready, I need to make all these conditions to work in a same time. So for that, I need to select a operator called AND operator. So here you can find AND operator which will checks the logical conditions 1, 2 till infinity. So you can add a number of conditions. If all these conditions are true, then only the logical condition will return you the true value. So in the same way, you can just apply over here. So insert the AND operator and place the logical first condition, and you can place the second condition, and you can place the third condition. Finally, the PAN number condition. So here you can find one open brackets, one more open brackets. Here you can find three open brackets as a closed one. So I'll remove one. So I'll just paste it over here, remove it. So check the syntax. So here you can see no errors found. So in case if you miss any one bracket, if you check here, it shows that one bracket is missing. So fill it out. Check the syntax again. Here you can find there are no errors. So here I am displaying the message as please fill all the necessary informations. So where you want to display the error. So either you want to display on top of the page or you want to display under the specific field. So if you wanted to display the error under the specific field, you can select the field. So as of now, I want to display at the top of the page. So save it. Make sure that your validation is active or not. So now I'll just try to save this record. So let me create a new record. Test. Oh, I need to refresh this page. So test. So here you can see our error is actually thrown here. Please fill all the necessary informations. So now what is the first is I am just checking it as hot. Again, you can select save. Should not allowed. Oh, I'll just check with the phone field. So as per our condition, we have given it as and all the conditions, right? So as per the AND condition, what it will do is it will check all the conditions as true, then only it will return true. So it is actually testing whether the phone number field is empty or not. It is empty. And the rating field is empty or not. It is empty. And annual revenue is empty or not. It is empty. And PAN number field is not empty or not. It is empty. So this is how it is actually working. So now in this case, this will actually hit a error because all these conditions are satisfying. If all these are blank, then only it will throw the error. Now, if you wanted to change this condition, I want any one specific fields are missing, then also I need to show error. On that case, you need to change this and to or. So or what it will do is, so either any one arguments are correct, then it will return true, or all will be false. So now if the phone number is blank, it will throw the error. Or if annual revenue is blank, or it will throw the error. Or if the rating field is blank, it will throw the error. Or it will, if it is not matching with the PAN number rejects, it will throw the error. So now or will check the conditions one by one. If any one will be false, also it will be giving true. And if all are false, then only it will become false. So now check this condition. We'll try one by one. So now I'm filling the rating field. I'm trying to save it. See, it is still showing the error. Now I'm filling some phone numbers or like phone numbers. It's still showing error. Now I'm trying to fill the annual revenue. It's still showing the error. Let me fill the PAN number. FHPM5299P. So now I'm trying to save. Here you can find it's getting saved. Even if you try to modify this, now instead of giving the PAN number in a proper format, I'm just giving in a different format. You can find this error will throw. So now all the conditions are working fine. So this is how you need to manipulate with and or. So and will actually will check all the conditions are true, then only it will return true. So or either one condition is true. In true means if the hot is blank, it will throw the error. So you can't, now I am just trying to matching the pan. I am just trying to save it. Still it's showing the error because the rating field is blank. So now I'm filling the rating field. I'm making the phone number field as blank. You can check still this error is occurring. So this is how you need to work with the validation rules. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Let's see on another session. Thank you. Hello. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about profiles. So profiles deals with the set of permissions available to the users. So it is a kind of interface between the user and the Salesforce org. So which user can access which objects, which user can access which fields. So it can be decided based on the Salesforce. So there are two types of profiles are there. One is standard and one is custom profiles. So standard profiles, which is the profiles given by the Salesforce with some built-in settings, and custom profiles if you wanted to modify the existing settings or if you wanted to create a new settings. So there you can go and create a custom profiles. And in Salesforce, each and every profile which would be carries a license. So without license, profiles cannot be created. So let's see a small demo on profiles. Here we go. So now in setup, you can search for profiles and select profiles where you can see the list of profiles available in Salesforce. These are the standard profiles available in Salesforce. Now, so here you can see the system administrator, which is the profile assigned to us, and we are just working with this profile only. Now, I wanted to create a new custom profile and I wanted to modify it. Before that, let me open a system admin profile and we'll check how it looks like. Okay, I'll just refresh this page again. So opening the system admin profile. So this is the profile, how it looks like. So this profile contains layout section, details section, and field layouts, field level security section, and application settings. This would be tab settings, and this is the record type settings, and this is the permissions where you can change it, and this is the general user settings, and this is the object settings, and this is custom object settings, and this is like a session hours. So session hours, so you know well, right? So in case if the user is not active for 2 hours, the session would be auto log out. So if you wanted to reduce or if you wanted to increase, you can do it here. And this is the password policies, like the combination of alphanumerics and special symbols, and what is the maximum valid attempts, and what is the lockout effective period. So all will be there. So login hours, you can mention the time. Like, so if you wanted to log in from 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday, you can mention it over here by selecting this edit icon, and this is a login IP ranges. So if you wanted to mention any specific IP ranges, within the IP ranges only the Salesforce can be accessible. So like that, you can enable Apex classes, Visual Force pages. So there are lots of things can be done in the profile site. So now let's create a custom profile and let's see a small change how it can be done. So I'll just go back to profile. I'll select new profile. So here you can clone any existing profiles. So for time being, I'm taking the system admin profile. Here you can see the already the Salesforce license, which is assigned to a sales system admin profile. So now I'm creating a profile called assistant system admin. So now the profile got created. So now what I'm doing is I'll just go and modify a few things in this. For this specific profiles, you can see a standard tab settings, right? I'll just make this tab off for this assistant system admin. So account tabs off, that means accounts object can be accessed by assistant system admin, but the tab cannot be visible in this place. Like in this place, we can see the tabs, right? This tab will not be visible for him. So in the same way, I'll just go and remove the contacts permission. So here you can see I have removed all the basic access for the contacts. So now I'll just save this profile. So this profile is got saved. So here by selecting the view users, you can see which are the users assigned to this specific profile. It's loading. So now if you select new users, I mean view users, you can see which are the users are available for this specific profile. So as of now, we don't have any users for this. So if you wanted to add any users, you can select add multiple users. So you can select the multiple users and you can add it if you wanted to add more number of users. So if you wanted to include only one user, you can go ahead and select the new user. I have selected a new user. So now you can give it as test. I'll just give it as temporary sysadmin. I'll just give the same email ID for testing purpose. And I'll just give some small changes in the user ID. And here I'll select Salesforce and profile. I'm selecting it as assistant system admin. So here this is a new profile I'm assigning to it. And I selected as save. Okay, so now for this temporary user is active user and is having the assistant system admin profile. So what I'm doing is now I'll just cross verify with system admin like I'll open the sales application, standard application which is there in the Salesforce. So in the standard application, I can see account tabs, contact tabs. So right now I removed complete access for contacts and I just removed the tab for account for this assistant system admin. So now I wanted to check and log in as a assistant system admin and I wanted to see how it is working. So for that, there is a option called login access policies. So here you can see an option called administrators can log in as any user. I'll just enable this option. Changes saved. So I'll go back to the users and we here this is the new user. Previously there won't be having any login option. Now there is a login option where you can log in and test this user. So I have selected this user. Okay, so here you can see logged in as temporary system admin. So in the same sales application, here you can check the accounts and contacts is not there, right? So now account tabs is not there. For contacts, complete access would be restricted. I'll just check with accounts and I'll open it in new tab. See here only tab will not be there, but this user can able to create the accounts because only the tab visibility we have disconnected, but still the user can create new account, can view the existing accounts, can modify the accounts, everything can be done. So now in the same way, I'll try to access contact. So you can see contacts. You can see that complete this contact option itself not visible to this user. So since the complete restriction has been applied for this profile, so this user cannot be viewed. So like that, you can restrict the field level object level and app level. You can do everything by using the profile. So this is how you can utilize the profile. So this is all about profiles. Thanks for watching. Let's see you on the another session. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about permission sets. So permission sets basically deals with improvising the additional permissions from the existing profile. So for a profile level, if we don't have any access for a specific item, so if you wanted to give a access for a specific profile, you can give it. And while giving the permissions, either you can give it for one user or you can give it for multiple users. So let's see a small demo how to use the permission set. Here we go. So now you know that we have a assistant system admin profile. So you know that we have a assistant system admin profile. So in this profile, we have a contact, right? So for a specific contact, we have removed all the permissions. Now, for time being, I wanted to give only read and create access, but I don't want to change anything in this profile. So in this case, I will be going for the permission sets. So to create a new permission set, you need to search permission sets in the quick find box and select permission sets. Once you select the permission sets, you need to go and select new. So here, I'll just enable the permission sets like contact, read, and create. So this is the name of the permission set. So which license it's needed? It's needed Salesforce license. So now the permission set is created. Now, which settings you wanted to change it? This is the object settings, right? The contact object settings. So in that object settings, for contact, I'll just select edit. So here, tab settings you can make visible and you can enable only read and create access. I'm not giving edit access, so the user can able to see the records on contacts and user can create the records on contacts, but it, the user cannot edit or modify any contacts. So I'll just save this permission set. I'll just go back to the object settings again. So here you just need to notice one thing. For accounts, there is no access right now, but in profile level, they have access. Even though in the permission set, if they don't have access, in profile, if they have access, they can able to access it. So permission set basically deals with to improve the permissions. You cannot degrade the permissions. Okay. So now let's assign the permission set for the specific user. I'll go to manage assignments. So here you can select add assignments. I'll just include this user and permission set has been assigned to this user and you can select done. So one more step is used to assign the permission set. You need to go to the specific users. You can select the user and here you can see there is a permission set assignment. You can go to the edit assignments. Here you can either remove or you can either add the permission set. So this is another way to add the permission set. So now the permission set has been assigned to this user. So let's see whether this user can able to create the contacts or not. So I'll just log in it as assistant system admin, that is a temporary admin user. So change this application to sales. So here you can see previously the contact option will not be visible to the user. Now temporary system admin can access the contact records. So this user can view all the existing records, but in case if you try to modify this user, so for example, I am opening this user and you won't be having edit option to modify this user. But what you can do is you can create new contacts. So only you have read and create access. So you can able to read and you can able to create it. New contacts waiting for the window. So here we go. So here you can create one test contact. So see here you can able to create it, but once you have created, the thing is you cannot able to modify this contact. See, all the fields are read-only fields. So if you try to modify any fields, it won't be there. And you won't be having this save, cancel, or delete. You won't be having any options. So this is how you can utilize the permission set. So thanks for watching this video. Let's see you on another session. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to see about Salesforce roles. So roles actually deals with the hierarchy of your organization. So it will actually based on the record level access and it can override the sharing settings, whatever the settings it is there in the OWD, that is org wide sharing default. So that can be override by using the roles. For example, now, so this is the just a basic hierarchy of a organization. So there is a CEO or president. So under president, you can see the list of directors. Under the directors, you can see the list of sales reps. So now, whenever the sales rep creates any records, each other sales reps cannot able to see any records. So each other sales reps cannot able to see any other records, as well as whenever the directors create records, the other directors cannot see the each other records. In a same way, when sales reps can able to create any records, but the directors can able to access those records. In a same way, whenever the director creates a records, CEO can or president can able to access the records. So this is how the basic hierarchy would be there in an organization. Now let's see how to set this roles in our Salesforce org. Here we go. So now to check with this, initially we need to do some changes in the sharing settings. So here in a quick find box, you can search for sharing settings. So there you can find, so once you click the sharing settings, there you can find organization wide default. So there initially you can see this account and contract access is there in a public read write. So this is the default internal access. Now I'll just modify this into private. So the moment you modify this into private, so no one can see anyone's access. For example, so it will take some time to reflect in your system. So meanwhile, so here I have created three users, level A user and level B two users. So user 1 level A, user 2 level B and user 3 level B. These are the name of the users. All these users are in the same profile, that is standard platform user profile. So for example, I'll just select this user where you can see this user is having Salesforce platform license and the standard profile I assigned to them, which is called standard platform user. Now, if user A creates any record, user B, user 2 and user 3 cannot able to see the records because the default OWD settings now it is changed into private. So that is why other users cannot able to see the each other records. So let test it up. So see now it is changed into private. So now what we can do is we can um, list of users. I'll just first try to log in as level B user 2 and I'll search with accounts. I'll try to create new account. Test user 2 level B account. So save it. So in account we have some validation rules. We need to fill all those details, then only it can be saved. And annual revenue needs to be generated. And phone field should not mandatory and PAN number field should be there. 299P. Save it. So now this is the name of the account which is created by user to level B. So now what we will do is we will log out from this user and we'll log in as admin. Now we'll log in as level 1, level A user 1. So now I'll just try to access the account records. So here I'll just change it as all accounts. So here you can see that none of the records is visible to the user 1 level A. So now I'm just trying to setting up a role. So whenever you need to set up a role, you need to go back to as a system admin. I'll just log in as a admin again. Okay, now logged in as admin. Now search for roles. So you can select setup roles. So here, these are the standard role hierarchy which is given by Salesforce. If you wanted to modify, you can modify all those things by selecting this edit option. And if you wanted to change any roles, if you wanted to create any roles, you can do over all those things. It can be done in this place. Now what I'm doing is in under CRS, if you want to add any role, you can add it. Under CRS, there is a CEO role. Under CEO, there is a CFO, CCO, and SVP Customer Service and Support, SVP Human Resources, and Sales and Marketing. So these are the roles are there under CEO. Now what I'm doing is now I'll just go and assign this level 2 user as a CFO. It is assigned. Now I'll just go and assign level 1 as CEO. I mean user 1 level A as CEO. So role setup is done. Again, I'll just go back to the user. Now I'll try to log in as user 1 level A. Let's see whether we can able to access any records or not. I'll just go to the accounts and I'll just change it to all accounts. Here you can find the test user 2 level B account is visible to user 1 level A. So this is how the role will works and this is how you need to set up the roles. Thanks for watching this video. Let's see you on another session. Hello, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about data management. So when you're processing more number of records into Salesforce, like when you want to insert or when you want to update any existing records, when you want to delete any records. So whenever you're performing any DML operations, you need to prefer a tool where you can do the bulk record management. For that, we are preferring a tool called Data Loader, which is a Salesforce authorized tool. So by using the sales data loader, you can process maximum of 5 million records, like from 1 to 5 million records you can process by using the data loader. And whenever you process the data loader, you will be having the format in the format of file format like CSV format, like it is a Excel sheet like comma separated values. And there are following operations where you can perform like insert, update, upsert, delete, hot delete, export, and export all. So insert update is a straightforward option where you can insert and update the existing records. Upsert, it is a combination of insert and update. And next one is delete and hot delete. So delete will just delete the record and it will stay inside the recycle bin for 15 days. Hot delete will permanently remove the record from the org. So that is also inside the uh, recycle bin also it will delete the record. Export and export all. So export is an option where you can extract all the data from the org. Export all you can extract along with the records which is there in the recycle bin. So let's see a small demo on data management, how we can do that. So first to you need to install the data loader by using the data loader instructions which is given by Salesforce. Please follow the instructions and install the data loader. So to find this data loader operation option, you need to go to the quick find box and you need to search with data loader. Once you select data loader, you will be having this option. So there you need to find the link for Windows as well as instruction for Windows as well as for Mac. So whichever it is a comfortable option for you, you can go ahead and download this option by using this data loader link. So once you downloaded, after following the instructions, once you downloaded, when you launch a data loader file, so if you wanted to launch a data loader file, you need to go to Start and you need to search for data loader. So once you select this data loader option, you will have a data loader file over here. Like this is the data loader application where you can do all the operations. So the first operation, I'll go for a export operation where I want all the list of account records. So I'll just go and export this. So first you need to go with this option, and so which instance you want to download, whether it's a sandbox or production. So currently we are working with developer account, which is a production environment. So I'll select the production and I'll select login. So to authorize the Salesforce org, you need to give the user ID and password. So I'll give a user ID and I'll give password and select login. So you must be receiving a code to your email ID. So copy the code and paste it. So and you need to select allow for the access. So here you can see this message turned as login successful. So after that you need to select next. So whichever the object you want to select, whichever the records you wanted to extract, go ahead and select the object name. So currently I want account records, list of account records. So where you wanted to store that list of record file, that is in the CSV format, and select browse, and I'll just store it in the desktop. So name of the file is account extract, save it and select next. And these are the list of fields whichever there is in the account. So whichever the fields you want, you can select over here. So I want account name and account ID, account industry, and whether this account is active or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you wanna in a different format, you can just you can just modify this query according to your format. First, I want ID. Second, I want name. So what I'm doing is I'm just pasting it over here and I'll just remove the name column and I'll just paste it over here. So first I want name, first I want ID, name, industry, and whether this account status is active or not from account. So these are the details I want. This would be auto-populated whenever you select this field queries. And so once, if you wanted to add any filter conditions, you can go ahead and add your filter conditions. So I want all the accounts right now. I'll just select finish and select yes. So here you can see 17 records are processed. There were 17 successful extractions. So let's go and see in that file. So here you can see this account has been populated, account extract. So these are the list of list of accounts where it is there, like whatever the fields, whichever it is there. So let's take a one more extract like in the same way. You can click export, select account, account extract, update with additional fields I wanted to take. So I'll just name it as version 2, save, Next, so I'll try to extract the mandatory fields because when you insert account records, there would be a mandatory fields which would throw some error. So extract the mandatory fields like, so first take the name and take the ID and take the rating and take the phone and take the PAN number and take the annual revenue. So I'll just take name and ID over here and I'll paste it before the annual revenue. Come on. Right. So now let's start extract. I hope these are the annual revenue, PAN, phone, rating. So these are the mandatory fields. Okay, again the extraction has done. So now you can see the version 2 is extracted. Okay, so now I wanted to do a insert operation. So what I'll do is I'll just save as this file and here I'm saving as account insert. What I'm doing is I'll just remove this ID column because while before inserting we won't be having IDs, and so the name of the account is data load 1 and I'll give till data load 10. So here I just populated some values for the mandatory fields. So now the file is ready. Now I'm going to insert those records inside the Salesforce org. So go and select the insert operation and you can select account, you can select browse, account insert, and you can select next. So this contains not 15 records actually. We need to check it out. So this operation contains only 10 records. So let's check it out. So insert, account, browse, account, insert, next. Let's see. So here you need to map the fields from the Excel to Salesforce. So if you have a mapping file where you can choose the mapping file and select, if you don't have, you need to create a new mapping. There are two options. You can select auto matching fields, which will automatically map by using the API names. And you can select. So if you select save mapping, next time you can use it. Account map. I'll just save it. I'll just select OK, insert, finish. So where you wanted to save that output files, that folder is actually asking. So I'll just give as results, select this results folder, select finish. Okay, so let's go and check it out. All the 10 records were inserted or not. So before that, if you wanted to check any errors, you can check it over here. So what is the error that we can check it out? So see here there are blank values, so that is why there are 5 errors. And we can check the success information. See with the records whichever it is inserted by us, it got inserted. So now we'll check it in a Salesforce org. Go to the accounts. Select all accounts where you can find from data load 1 to 9 and 10th one. So all the accounts are inserted successfully. So this is how the insert operation needs to be done. Next we'll go to the update operation. So if you wanted to update the existing records, you can update it. So for again, I'll just go and save as this file, and I'll save it as account update. I'll just create one new sheet and I'll paste it here, and I'll delete this sheet, and I'll just save this one as account update. So here, this is the data load once account ID. What I'm doing is I'll update this as data load 20. I just updated the data load update. I'll just update it as name as data load update, and so let the remaining items be there. I'll just remove this. We don't need any other options. Only the ID is enough. And which are the fields you want to update, that one is enough. So now select update operation, select account, go to browse the file, select account update, select next, choose, you can choose the existing map. You can see this account map. So its ID is not matching. So select auto match fields. So there are one successful update. You can go ahead and check that data load one record. You can see this has changed as data load update. So this is how you need to update. Next one is a upsert operation. Upsert is a combination of insert and update. So now instead of update for the same record, I'll do upsert operation, and I'll insert one more record. So for that, we need those fields. I'll just do the save as of this page. This I am changing it as account upsert. Copy the fields, necessary fields, and paste it. So now I'm going to insert a new record like data load insert, and you can give some annual revenues, you can give some PAN numbers, and you can give phone number, and you can give rating, and you can save it. So now there should be two reflections. One, this data load update will change it from data load update to data load upsert, and there would be one more new record as data load insert. So select upsert, and you can select account, go for the select the file. It will contains two records, and So for upset, we are need to match with ID and create the mappings, auto match fields, select next. So two successful upserts, you can select it in the window. So I'll just refresh this page. Here you can find instead of update, there should be a upsert. So this is changed and there should be a new record called data load insert. So here you can see data load insert. So this is how you need to perform the upset operation. So next one we'll go to the delete operation. For delete operation we just need only the ID. I'll just remove all those fields and I'll do the save as of this file. Save as, and I'll just give account delete and select save. So just ID is sufficient to delete a account. So select delete account, select select the file, select next. You can map the fields. So there were one successful delete happened. So this file would not be there. So we'll just click and see. See, this file is not there. That's why it's showing it does not exist. So this is successfully got deleted. Hard delete. So if you wanted to remove it from the recycle bin, so you can go ahead and do the hard delete. So export all. If you wanted to export the files from the recycle bin, I mean along with the existing file, it will export the file from the recycle bin. So this is how you can work with data loader. So thanks for watching this video. Let's see you on another session. Hello all. In this session, we are going to cover about classic email templates. So classic email templates, it's actually you can call it as communication templates also. So basically, it is a templates which is used to send a message to any users or any account users or any contact users or any users. So for the particular users, if you wanted to send a message with specific design, you can design it before you send the message. So that you can call it as communication template. So there are two type of content types are available, and one is static and one is dynamic. And there are two types of templates, one is standard and one more is custom. So in custom, we have four types of email templates. One is text, second is HTML with letterhead, and third one is custom without letterhead, fourth one is visual force page. So standard templates which is given by the Salesforce, where you can use that one if you have a specific requirement. So let's see a small demo on how to use the classic email templates. So to work with email templates, you need to search with classic email templates and you can select this option under the email tab. So there you can find there are a list of templates which available which is provided by Salesforce. For example, I'll take any one email template like new customer email. Okay, so here you can see this is available in which folder and name of the template. So these are the properties of the template and make sure that it should be available for use, then only you can make use of this. And so as per this template, they are trying to send the message with the contact first name. So this is how you need to make a dynamic of the contact first name. So here you can see who has sent this template, like who has sent this message. So that specific username would be there. So in between there is a message, and here you can find this is the name of the account. So if you wanted to test this, you can test it. So here I'll take account as a test. So remaining name I'm not concentrating right now. You can just check with account alone. So here I'll just go and select the account. So name of the account is test account, and here you can select to check the preview of that specific template and go back to your email. Let's give some time to receive it. Let me check one more time. So see, it is got received right now. So in the place of account, you can see whichever the account you select, that account would be displayed over here. Okay. So this is how you can utilize the standard email templates. Now let's check it on custom email templates. So for that, you need to select new template. The first one is simple text. So whichever the template you have seen over here, this is the simple text only. So to create that custom template, you need to go select next and make sure that you need to make it for available. And I'll give it as text use, text email template, and I'll give it as test, and you can save it. So after you save, if you wanted to test it, select test and then check the preview. So you can go and check that one. It's taking little delay to send the email. Okay, so let it receive. So this is the place how you need to create the simple text email template. If you wanted to modify anything of this, you can go ahead and modify it. Suppose I wanted to keep the account name here, like dear account name. So you can go ahead and select the account fields. You can check with the name field. So here it got populated, and copy and paste over here, and you can save it. Okay, so now it got populated like this. Let me test it one more time along with the account name. Select the preview and select OK. So these are the previous test which is sent. So this is the one test account which we have selected right now. So this is how you need to work with the simple email templates. Second one, HTML template with letterhead. So in order to use this template, you need to create letterhead first. Okay, so anyway, go and select the next. Uh, and so before that, you will not get this option. So for that, you need to go with classic letterheads. So here I already select created one letterhead. So if you wanted to create any letterhead, you can select next. So here I already have a letterhead. You can, if you wanted to create new letterhead, select new. I'll just give it as letterhead test new and make it available for use. Save it. So if you wanted to add any logo, you can add the logo here and you need to select it. So you need to check whether the logo is available or not. In case if it is not available here, so first you need to switch it to classic. In case if you wanted to upload any documents, you need to go to classic and after that search for the documents. So here you need to give new document. Here you can give test logo new and make this as available for internal as well as if you want external, you can keep it as external. And I'm keeping this into my personal folder documents and you can upload the logo whichever you want and you can select save. So now this test logo is ready. So now I'll go back to this page and I'll try to select the logo. So here the new logo is available right now. Select it. So in footer also if you want the same logo you can select it. So body colors if you wanted to change anything you can go ahead and choose the color whichever you want. Body color selected and select OK. See the body color got changed. And if you wanted to see the preview you can click the preview. Here it will be displaying the how the letterhead would be there. So once you have created letterhead, go ahead and click the save. So later I'll go back to the email templates and I'll make this email template for available to use. And this is the um, HTML with letterhead test and you can select the letterhead whichever it is there. So this is the layout of your letter. So whether it is a promotion right or promotion led products, formal letter, you can select based on your requirement. At time being, I'm selecting the formal letter and I'll select next. So this is how it looks like. So subject, if you wanted to add anything, I'll just add it as the subject and I'll select next. So text body, if you wanted to give anything, you can give it. And again I'll just work with account fields itself and you can save it. So this is the text body. Plain text preview would be like this and this is the email preview, I mean HTML preview. If you wanted to modify anything you can modify it. So if you wanted to modify text version, click the text version. If you wanted to modify HTML version you can modify it. Okay, and you can save it. Okay, so let me test this one and you can select the account, send the preview. So this is how you got the sample file. So since I have tested with HTML, we have received the HTML with letterhead. Okay, so we'll go back to the next one. Select next. I mean email templates. Select new template. This is custom without letterhead, and here you can use without letterhead test. Select next. So this is without letterhead. This is custom without letterhead. So here in the HTML body, you can give any HTML tags also, like I'll give dear, I'll give account field itself. You can choose any field whichever you want. Your account name. Later, I wanted to use any break tags, you can use it. This is, I'll use, the bold tag which is there in the HTML, test bold. You can close the tag, and later you can test with any HTML tag. I'll just test with underline right now. And if you wanted to see preview, you can select the preview. So here itself you can see bold and underlined is displaying here. Select next. So if you wanted to give any text body, you can give it. I'll just save it. So this is the HTML preview. I'll just send it. I'll just give test account. I'll select preview and I'll select OK. We'll just give some seconds to receive that email. So we have got received. So here you can see the break tag is working, bold tag is working, underline tag is working. So this is how you can work with custom email templates, this custom without letterhead. And fourth one is Visual Force page. So in Salesforce, like HTML, we have Visual Force tags. We'll see more in detail on Visual Force page in upcoming sessions. So for time being, we can see how we can create a Visual Force template. So select next. So here you can see I'll just give VF test template. And if you wanted to give any subject, you can give it. So if you wanted to select any user or lead, you can select the recipient type who has sent this email. And if you wanted to give subject, you can give the subjects. You can, if you wanted to modify anything on this template, you can modify it. So like this, see here you can find messaging dot plain text email body is a tag, predefined tag given by Salesforce. So like this, there are so many tags which is available in Salesforce. So those regarding the tags, we can see those things later. So here I'll just give it as this is new Visual Force template and I'll give as save. So let's see how we are receiving this one. So send the preview. You can select the user ID. I sent it. We'll just give some time. And so whenever If you wanted to use this template for external use, make sure that it should be available for use. Okay. We got email from the template which we have tested it. So these are the four types of email templates which is available in Salesforce. So this is if you wanted to add this notification to any other triggering emails, you can add this template. So this is how you can utilize the templates which is available in Salesforce. Uh, Thanks for watching this video. Let's see you on another session. Hello all. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about workflows. So workflow is a kind of automated process where you can perform some actions based on the criterias. So there are three type of criterias available. One is created and second one is created and every time edited. And third one is with the same with the whenever it's meeting the subsequent criteria. So let's see in detail. And there are two types of actions which we can perform in the workflows. One is immediate actions and one more is time dependent actions. So there are the list of actions which can perform with the workflows, or you can create a task and you can send email alerts and you can update the fields and you can send the outbound messages. So let's see a small demo how to work with workflows. So here we go. So to work with workflows, you need to search with workflows like, so here you can find workflow rules. So once you find the workflow rules, you can select continue. So here you can select new rule. For example, I'll take it as an account object. So in account, I'll can specify any conditions which are based on the criteria, like based on the requirement. So for example, now I'm creating the rule name as account rules. So here it will fire whenever the account records get created, and this will fire whenever the account record gets created and whenever you're updating the same record, and this will fire whenever it get created along with edited and which meeting some specific criterias. So here you need to mention the criterias. So here I'll mention whenever the account industry, I'll go for industry, account industry. So whenever the account industry becomes agriculture, I want to make some automated actions. So I have specified the criteria when it needs to get fired. So this action would be performed whenever the account gets created, even whenever it's get modified along with this criteria if it matches. So I'll just select save and next. So here is the place where you can perform the actions. The first action, I'll specify the new task. So here you can mention any name of the task and to whom this task needs to be assigned. For now, I'll assign myself. So here the subject is account. You can give any subject based on the requirement. I'll give as account created and the comments also the same. And this task needs to be when this task due dates needs to be mentioned, that you can mention it. So I can mention whenever the account gets created, from that 2 days, and you can make the status and you can choose the priority. and you can save it. So now one action is included over here, which is task creation. And second one is on the same time, I want to perform some email update, email notification. So like you can send the test notification. So email template, whichever the template you have created earlier, you can use that template and you can choose the user to whom you wanted to get notified. So that user you can choose it and save this template. So two actions has been performed. Now I'll add the third action. I'll update the field. So I'll give the name as description update. So what I'm trying to update here is whenever the new account is get created with the industry agriculture, I want to update the field description field which is there in the account object. So for that specific description field, I want to populate some values. So here you can choose this formula editor. So within a single quotes, you can give as account task created and I'll just save it. So I have added three actions and I'll perform the fourth action also, which is a time dependent trigger. So let's add that one also. So from the account created, I'll make this as a 2 days. So whenever this workflow get fired, rule trigger date. Whenever it that means whenever this trigger get fired from there, it will perform this action with 48 hours. So here I have added the time trigger. For that time trigger, you can specify any actions. For example, I'll send one more email alert like account created, account reminder 48 hours. So this is the description and you can select any email template for that, whichever you wanted to send, and I'll select the same user and I'll save it. So now four actions are performed. So outbound message, which is something which cannot test right now, we can test this one based on the sending messages to the third party system from Salesforce, so which we can be discussed later. Okay, so now we can test all those actions. So I'll just give it as done and you can activate this workflow, then only this will work. So here you can select your name as a default workflow user and save it. Okay, so now this workflow is active. So now let's go and create an account and test it. So I'll create a new account. Account name is workflow test and we need to populate the mandatory fields. Your rating, phone number, and then annual revenue, and then PAN number, and then save it. So now this criteria is actually not matched. So let's go and match with the criteria. So account industry should be agriculture. So save it. So here you can see there is a task created over here, new task created. So account created is the name of the task, and this is the due date which it is there. We have given for 2 days. So this is the first one, and second one we can check with the email alert. So here you can check we got an email alert. And the third one, so here you can see the description got populated as account task created. So fourth one is a time dependent action which we can check. Here you can see there is a time based workflow option. So open that one. So if you wanted to check that one, currently you can see there are nothing got scheduled. So we can check with that object name equals. I'll just check with the object because I have created with account. So I can search. So here you can see workflow test has been in the queue and it will get fire on the specified time. So this is how you can work with workflows. Thanks for watching this video. Let's see you on another session. Hello all. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about approval process. So approval process is a kind of automation process where you can approve the record. So even you can do the approval process by using the manual submission also. And approval process can be defined in the sequence of steps. And in approval process, you will be having the actions called approved, rejected, and recall. So actions in the sense if you wanted to approve the record and if you don't wanted to approve the record and if you want to recall the record. So that is the actions. So basically, if you wanted to get approval from your higher authorities on discounts, on any reimbursements or any timesheets. So on that time, we used to prefer approval process. So approval process can be done via Salesforce org also, or you can do the email approval also. So let's see a small demonstration how to use the approval process. So here, to configure the approval process, search for the approval process in the quick find box. Here you can find this is the approval process and to which object you wanted to configure. So now, so here we have accounts tab. So in that accounts tab, we have a list of records. So whenever you can wanted to get approval for this record. For example, for this record, there are so many fields. Whenever I'm going to get new record, so consider that I have a status for a specific records. Now, whenever the state rating or whenever the rating field becoming cold, I want to this record to get approval. So we can configure in this way. So to track the status, what I can do is I'll just create a new field in the account. So just go to the account and you can go to the fields and relationships and you can select new and you can select the pick list and you can select next. Here I'll just give it as approval done question and here you can enter the values as pending, yes, no, and this can be done by using your based on requirement. For time being, I'll just give it as like this and you can save this field. Now here we can see that field as approval done in all the records. So if I go and create new record, so here it is. So now whenever the status is cold, so this account I need to send it for approval. So any specific accounts I wanted to send it for approval. On that time I wanted to change the status or pending. So once the approval is done, I want to give the status as yes. In case if it is rejected, I want to change the status as no. For that, I have created a custom field. So let's see how it can be configured. So now you can select account and you can create new approval process. Here you have two options. You can use Jumpstart wizard or you can use standard setup wizard. So in Jumpstart Wizard, by default, Salesforce itself having some setups. If you wanted to set up all the steps manually, you can use the standard setup wizard. So as of now, I'm using Jumpstart Wizard. So here I'll give it as account code approval. So this button, which will helps you to submit the record manually, and if you wanted to track the history of approval, you need to enable this. So for those flexibility, you need to enable this one. So in case if you wanted to use any templates for approval assignment, you can use it. So the specific person can be get notified by using this template. Okay, so for now, I don't want any templates, so we'll just straightforward take care of the approvals. Now here you have a account approval done field, not approval done rating field. So approval rating. So this is the criteria. Whenever approval becomes cold, so on that specific time, I wanted to send this record as a approval, right? So now I'll can choose the approver by using these three options. So one, I can choose it manually. Second, auto assignable, and third, also auto assignable. So this is auto assignable due to the standard or custom hierarchy, and this is the based on the user. So I'll go for the third, and this is based on the hierarchy. So in the third one, for now I'll use me as a approver since there is a limitation of Salesforce license. Okay, so let me save this record. So once you save this process, it will take you to the approval process to configure it further. So still it is not active. We need to do some settings on the actions part. So the first action, what is my required action is, uh, so whenever this record has submitted for approval, so suppose I'm creating a new record, I'm saving it. After saving, there would be a approval submit to approval button. So in case if the rating is cold, the submit for approval button will be enabled. So once you submit for approval, I wanted to keep this status as pending automatically. So here you can go and add the field update. So I can use as pending status, and field to update is account approval done. Change this status as pending. So this is the step one. So, and if you wanted to add any additional steps, you can specify here. Now I'll add the final approval actions. So let go and add the field update. In case if the record is approved, I want to change the status as yes. So change it to yes. In case if the record is rejected, I want to change the status as no. Okay. So now the approval status is done, and we have something called as approval tracking history. So like in Flipkart or in Amazon, if we are in couriers, so if we place some orders, we have a tracking history. So on that, like similar, we have a approval tracking history. So before that, if you wanted to see the approval tracking history, you need to place it in the layout. So I'll go to account page layout. So here you can see related list. So in related list, just make sure that this approval history is there. In case if it is not there over here, you can drag and keep it. So wherever you want and save it. So now all our looks good, and we can activate this approval process. So now it is activated. So let's test it out. So now I'll approval test account. I'll create a new record and I'll make this status as cold and I'll just save the record. Think there would be some mandatory fields. So let's fill it out. So let's go and check what is the validation that we have it in the account. Account validation. So here this all should get satisfied. So for time being, I'll just deactivate this and let me save this record. So here I'll go to details. So now here you can see the status is this is a default status provided by Salesforce. Actually, it is not chosen automatically. So consider that for time being, I'll just choose something and I'll save it. So it is empty right now. Now what I will do is here you can see a button called submit for approval and you can check it out like this and you can select send. So now here you can find this is automatically changed as pending. Okay. So now if you go to related, here you can find this approval status. So once it is submitted, it is automatically changed as pending. So here you have an option to approve it, and here you have an option to reject and recall it. So if you wanted to approve, you can go ahead and click this approve button. So looks good. It is approved. So you can find any comments and you can submit it. So now here you can see the status is changed as approved, and in details section you can go ahead and see the approval done field changed it as yes. So now in a similar way, instead of logging into the Salesforce directly, we can approve it from the email. So let's see how we can do that. So for that, what I am doing is, so you can search for process automation settings. Here you can see a field called enable email approval response and save it. Now let me create one more record on the accounts, account 2, and I'll change it as cold and save it. So right now you can see approval history as 0, and this is empty. I'll just go ahead and submit for approval. So here the status is changed as pending. Here you can see I have received a approval request. So this is a email approval. You can do it by using these words listed by the Salesforce. So if you use approve, approved, or S, it will get approved. If you use remaining, it will be rejected. So for now, I'll take yes. I'll just reply, and I'll just reply as yes. So we can test it out. So now the status is pending. So let's wait for a few seconds. So here you can see it is automatically changed as yes. So this is how you can approve the record by using approval process. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hello all. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. So in this video we are going to cover about relationships. So in relationship, the first type is lookup data type. So by using the lookup data type, you can relate a parent-child concept. Like, so if you take accounts, account is a parent and contact is a child, where account carrying list of child records, that is more number of child records. And when you're talking about lookup, here you can make some points. So first one is parent is not mandatory to create lookup. So if you're creating a contact, you don't need to relate any accounts. By default, you can create a contact. And second one, so if you take any parent child records, the owner of the record can be different for parent also as well as child. And the third one is when you delete a parent, child records will not be deleted. So that is cascading delete is it will not work in lookup. And fourth one is roll up summary is not allowed. Suppose if you wanted to carry the count of all child records to parent, so that flexibility will not be available in the lookup. So let's see a small demonstration how to create a lookup relationship and how to work on it. So here I have two different objects. One is employees and one is address books. Now I wanted to create a list of addresses for a specific employee. So what I can do is I'll go to the edit object of address book, and here you can select new. So under new, you can choose lookup, and you can select employee, and you can select next, and you can complete the process. So now what will happen is I am trying to create a new employee record. So employee 07, and I'll keep some values. So I'll populate it. Okay, so here you can see the employee 7 record, and you can find the address book field, and I wanted to include the list of addresses. So let me go ahead and add it. You need to go to the relationship fields. So here you can find the relationship field. So you can select new. You can create it if you wanted to create new address, or if you wanted to relate any address to this specific record, you need to go to the address book, and you can open the address, and you can relate it. So here, relate it to employee 7, and I'll save this record. So in the same way, I'll relate this record to employee 7, and I saved it. So now if you go and refresh in the employee record, you can see the list of childs. So that is two addresses are related to the same employee. Now, as part of the first point, parent relationship is not actually mandatory one. So like when I create a new address, so this field is not mandatory. Either you can choose it, or without choosing this, you can create an address. So this is the point number one. And the second one is there is a possible of different child owners to the parent. So if you see here, you can see the owner, CRS Info Solutions. If you wanted to change the owner, you can go ahead and you can change the owner. And here, if you go to the employee records, the CRS Info Solutions, for this record, the owner is different. So owner can be different for child and parent. This is the second one. So third one, cascading delete is not possible. So what I'm doing is I'll just go ahead and I'll just delete this employee record. Now here it is related. If I refresh this, so it will just get empty. So that means either the parent is there or parent is not there, child records will exist. Second one, roll up summary is not possible. That is, if I wanted to take the count of, suppose if I take this employee 6, so right now there is no address. Consider that I have 10 addresses on this. I want to take the 10 counts over in this detail page, but that would not be allowed over here. So For that, we need to go to the master detailed relationship. So by using the lookup, we can only do this many operations. So this is all about lookup relationship. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. So let's see you on another session. Hello all. Welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about master detailed relationship. So master detailed relationship, it's a kind of special relationship where you can relate the parent and child like lookup. So, but there are certain different when you compare with lookup. So, first point. So here the parent is actually a mandatory one. So without parent you cannot create a child. And second one, here childs will not be having any owners. So the owner of the parent will be the owner of the child. And third one, here if you delete the parent, childs also will get deleted. And fourth one, you can take the count of parent, I mean count of childs to the parent. That is roll up summary is allowed over here. So let's see how to create in detail. So in last session, we have talked about lookup. So now what I will do is in address book, we have employee lookup. I'll just go and delete this object itself. Now it is removed. So now I'll try to create a new data type called master detail relationship, and I'll select next, and I'm relating to the same employee object. So here you're not able to create because there is a data type already exist with them. So let's see and just check it out. Is there any relationships already available for this? So let me test it on this. So we have only two records, and we have removed it, and we won't be having anything in the book. So let's try to create one another time. Select next. Let me check one another time. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'll just go ahead and I'll just remove the record first, and I'll just try to create this one more time. Master detail, select next, select employee. So it got created. So the reason of it's not getting created earlier, because when you already have a records with parents and childs, first you need to create lookup and you need to relate the parents and childs. Later you need to convert the lookup to master detail. Only that it is possible to create when you have existing records with object. So if you don't have any records, then it would be allowed without mapping it, because in master detail parent is mandatory. Without parent you cannot create any child records. So now I'll create a new address. So test address 1, So here you can find the employee field is mandatory. So I'll just map to employee one. So here, if you create test, if you create a new record, and this field will make it you as mandatory. So here you can find the asterisk symbol, and you can check it in the related of employee of one record. So let navigates to record one, and here you can see the test address one is populated. So now what I'm trying to do is we'll cover about the point one by one. So first point we have covered parent is actually mandatory, and second point the owner field. So if you see, so here the owner is there, but the owner is not present. I'm trying to modify owners. So here you can see this cannot be modified because when the owner is there for the parent, the same owner would be there for the child. And the third point, cascading delete. So before cascading delete, we'll cover the fourth point first. We'll try to create a roll-up summary in the next session, but I just wanted to give a short information on roll-up. So now here it's having address 1, address 2, and something. So when you, if you have a test address 1, test address 2 like this, if you wanted to take the count over here, that would be possible here. So let's create a roll-up summary field and test it out. To create a roll-up summary field, you need to go to fields and relationships, select new. Okay, so it would be here. Select new. Mm, mm, Let me check it out. Okay, now here you can see under employee this roll-up summary is enabled. Select next, and here you can give count of addresses. So here you have four type of roll-up type is there. One is count, and one is sum, one is minimum, one is max. So here we are going to do the count. So you can select the summarized object should be the child object always. Select count, and you can select next. So it's done. So now when I go to the employee here, you can see I have related two records now. If you wanted to create relate one more record, you can go ahead and relate over here. So let me go to the details page and let me refresh it. And it will just take little time and it will come soon. Okay, so now after some time, if you try to refresh the page, here you can see the count of address is 2 because it is related to records. So what I'm trying to do is now I'm trying to cover the third point. So if you try to remove this record, I'll just check with the address books. So now you can see this address book is empty. So that is when you delete a parent record, the child record will get auto deleted. So this is how the master relationship will work, and as well as this is how we can create a roll-up summary with master detail. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.